Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Investing for the Common Man, the channel that helps you save both your time and your money with short, concise, instructional videos. Today I'm going to share with you the top 5 stocks on my watch list for the month of August. Last month, my watch list more than doubled the gains of all the major US indices, so let's see if we can beat the market again in August with some careful analysis, critical thinking, and maybe just a little bit of luck. The first half of July was marked by surges in big tech stocks as they continued their bullish runs from June. In the second half of the month, the overall market pulled back slightly in caution and continued to trade sideways as some companies fell short of earnings expectations, while others like Apple and Amazon posted massive earnings beats. This is really where we saw the winners continue to get separated from the losers in these incredibly unique economic circumstances. Banks, airlines, and cruise line stocks all continue to struggle in this pandemic economy, while restaurants, tech, and consumer staples continue to show amazing strength. The impressive earnings reports that we saw last week out of Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook are sure to affect how the market trades over the next few weeks. I think that August might still be a bit too early to bet on a comeback in the banking and travel industries. So for my picks this month, we're going to try to focus on undervalued tech stocks and a few consumer discretionary and entertainment picks that actually might benefit slightly from the prolonged pandemic. Although I suppose it's only fair to warn you that if we get any massive news on the vaccine front, all bets are off for this market. Even if it isn't a full FDA approval, the stock market always tends to look ahead and try to predict the future, so vaccine news will likely trigger a bounce in recovery stocks like airlines and cruise lines. Before we get started, please take just a few seconds out of your busy schedule to make my day by subscribing to the channel and smashing that like button. Alright, let's dive in with my first pick of the month, the multinational media conglomerate Viacom CBS, ticker symbol VIAC. VIAC went through a rough patch with the cancellations of competitive sporting events like March Madness, as well as their headquarters located in New York City, the area hardest hit by the first wave of this pandemic. Back in April, there was also major concern that advertising budgets would be the first thing to be cut by struggling companies. Several months later, all these concerns seem to have nearly evaporated, as New York is now one of the states that has the virus most under control, and most professional sports leagues, with the exception of the NFL, have revised and published their plans for resuming games without live audiences. These games without fans will be televised on major networks at a time that many companies are actually splurging on advertising in an attempt to snatch up new market share during this time of economic upheaval. Viacom CBS has also transitioned during this pandemic to bolster their online streaming service, CBS All Access, and increased their partnership with YouTube to increase the number of online TV channels. The company is scheduled to report earnings for Q2 this week, so I'll be watching that news closely to get a better idea of their prospects. At the current share price, VIAC's dividend yield is a desirable 3%, and its low PE ratio of 5.8 is very enticing. My second pick for August is Raytheon Technologies, ticker symbol RTX. The market's been having a difficult time wrapping their minds around this one since the merger a few months ago between the Department of Defense contractor Raytheon Company and the aerospace-focused United Technologies, resulting in the new conglomerate named Raytheon Technologies that has significant exposure to several different engineering-based industries. The largest portion of the company is dedicated to aerospace development for commercial, business, and military aviation sectors. This causes many analysts to think of the struggling airlines and Boeing's ongoing debacle with planes falling out of the sky and get a bit nervous about aerospace exposure. But the new Raytheon Technologies is far more than a commercial airplane manufacturer and is poised to surpass Boeing as the number 2 Department of Defense contractor by combining the United Technologies aerospace contracts along with Raytheon Company's rock-solid advanced missile defense and radar systems employed by over 28 countries. In addition to aerospace, the company also has large portions of its engineering teams focused on developments in disruptive technology, cybersecurity, software, artificial intelligence, and space. With the old Raytheon Company being classified as a dividend contender and United Technologies a dividend aristocrat, the new Raytheon Technologies seems firmly focused on the future and inspires the confidence of long-term investors. Considering the solid recent earnings report and the dividend yield of 3.4%, this crew of 60,000 plus engineers is one that I want working for me. My third pick is a repeat from last month, Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA. I have noted before that Alibaba is a very compelling investment for the same reasons that Amazon is. Alibaba is a Chinese-based multinational technology company specializing in e-commerce and retail, but also competes in the cloud computing and digital media spaces. With Amazon achieving all-time highs and insane valuations in the stay-at-home economy, it stands to reason that Alibaba's business model will also thrive. You can say what you will about Alibaba being a Chinese company, but the analysts seem to absolutely love this stock and think it has a lot more room to grow. So this stock is definitely staying on my watch list, and I'll be watching closely as it reports earnings in August to see if we can notch a few more all-time highs. If Amazon's blowout earnings beat last week is any indication, this 16% gain in July might only be the beginning of a much larger bull run. My next pick is the third most valuable company in the world, Microsoft, ticker symbol MSFT. Many of the big tech companies have enjoyed incredible rallies that have stretched valuations to almost obscene PE ratios, but Microsoft has continued to post strong earnings data while retaining a more realistic valuation, and seems due for a bit of a rally in this tech-friendly market. On top of that, there's plenty of excitement this month surrounding a possible deal for Microsoft to purchase the spin-off of the US portion of the wildly popular app TikTok. This may prove to be a profitable acquisition, but even if it's not, this is just the sort of catalyst that could cause a stock like Microsoft to jump. As an enticing short and long-term investment, this is definitely a very desirable stock to have in your portfolio. The last of my picks for August is Netflix, ticker symbol NFLX. Netflix has been the hallmark of the stay-at-home economy and recently pulled back from its all-time highs. Some could argue that this company has become overbought, but as the streaming wars continue, new contenders seem to rise and fall, but none have displayed the potential to dethrone the streaming giant. Netflix continues to produce new popular shows like The Umbrella Academy at an alarming rate, and also has been able to negotiate many acclaimed classic shows and movies like Avatar: The Last Airbender to stream almost exclusively on their platform. As long as public entertainment, movie theaters, and live concerts remain suppressed by the raging pandemic, Netflix will continue to be an indispensable household staple. With many investors seeing tech as one of the few safe havens in this market, I believe there will be enough buying power this month to sustain Netflix share price in the $500 range. Well, that's all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen, but please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. I've got loads of educational content coming out later this month, and if you come back at the end of August, I'll make a recap video to evaluate what went right and what went wrong with these stock picks so that we can all learn how to be better investors. If you have any favorite picks of your own, please let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep calm, stay healthy, and happy trading.